Hello, this is Dr. Jester. So, what do you think of the new intro? Less creepy? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of partial about it. Anyway, so, apparently today, on the 21st of December, sorry, the days start to merge in and I kind of lose track. So, apparently today, mentally disturbed individual, no, sorry, a very innocent Australian of Afghan descent was driving his vehicle peacefully down the road and a bunch of Islamophobes jumped in front of him. Poor guy, he couldn't do anything. He was scared and the vehicle was going at a reasonable speed, under the speed limit. You know, he's innocent, and he ran over them. Anyway, they are just Islamophobes. No one's gonna miss them, right? Well, just details, right? And just because he kind of turned the vehicle to the direction of the curb or the pavement, it's just a no consequence, just minor details no one's gonna notice. Or that the people were actually on a busy shopping street in Melbourne. Yeah, just minor details. They were minding their business. Minor details. Islamophobes. Nothing of consequence. Nothing. The guy and the police said he had mental health issues, but yeah, no one should. They're completely innocent. They did nothing. Imagine that. They're completely innocent. Oh, beautiful little snowflakes. They're completely innocent. Oh. Well, and that because he found a bag of knives. Close to, at least that's the rumor. It was no consequence. Everyone carries a bag of knives wherever they go. It's completely, it's nothing. Then we have a bunch of triggered adults. No, I'm not mentioning it's not the Democrats, much less the anti-Trump crowd or the millennials this time. It's a bunch of politicians. Yes, again, not Democrats. And they are the leaders of the Muslim world or the Middle East, and they're triggered because Trump decided to move the American embassy to Jerusalem. And that's the normal, unusual modus of operandi of the Middle East or the Muslims. You know, before Trump moved the embassy to Jerusalem, the Muslims were and the Palestinians were violent. After he moves, and they're still violent. So there's no difference. Wait. They decided to, or in this case, Erdogan told the Muslim world to join up together and reject this condition, or the choice of America to transfer its embassy to Jerusalem. But Trump, being smart, he knows those guys are like teenagers. They live on handouts and they need fun for their hedge funds or their lavish lifestyle. So we all know the US gives them aid, money. So what did Trump do? Got their allowance. And just like every teenager who doesn't get its way, or millennials, they threw a hissy fit. And now they are having a crisis. Oh, the babies and the humanity. Oh, think of the children. Oh, poor leaders. And then we have, and this one is a kicker. Something that you think, well, I don't think we've reached this level yet, but this is a new low, at least for me. Here we have a triggered journalist writing for Esquire why, in summary, why she wasn't sexually harassed by Charlie Rose, and this is sexism and, wait for it, racism. So, here's the gist of it. News program celebrating the art of conversation seems to be perfect. Movie 6 was it? Producer, his language range consistently child and guest. Okay, here it is. This was infrastructure all valuable sought guests were white common occurrence across media platforms. It's because you live in a majority white country. That's why. And most of the actors are also white, because it reflects the population. And while many of us of the staff were subject to Charles' unsolicited shoulder massage and physical intimidation as he towered above us at the height of above 6 feet tall, the woman Charlie preferred and preyed upon, at least what I witnessed, were white. Oh my God, he chose white women, not black, to sexually harass them! How dare he! It was an environment that all but erased me, while simultaneously exploiting me as a black woman. The black woman! I felt like an exotic anomaly. He could move around in the chest at his swim, and I was supposed to be grateful for it. Think a little, Rebecca. Really focus a little on your point, what you're trying to say. You are sad because he didn't sexually harass you. Thus, it makes Charlie Rose a racist because he didn't want to fondle you or touch you in your naughty bits. That's exactly what you're trying to say. Are you fucking insane? Is it because you didn't feel attractive enough that he didn't touch you in your naughty places? Is this like that sort of weird porn or fetish that women have around rapists? Is it because it kind of seems so? Are you fucking insane? Just be thankful he didn't harass you. And to top it all, people have preferences. Just because he has a preference to certain women, that doesn't mean he's racist. We usually prefer people that kind of looks like us. It's kind of on our DNA. We prefer people that look somewhat similar to our facial expression and etc. Or at least in certain levels of preferences, how we were exposed as well when we were children. And just because someone prefers a blonde over a brunette doesn't mean it's racist. Just because someone prefers an Asian woman over a white woman doesn't mean it's racist. It's called preferences, and everyone has one, just like assholes. Everyone has their own asshole, just like preferences. So you can't make those claims. It's like, I don't know what's wrong with the world today. You think, oh, hey, I'm grateful. I wasn't raped by a guy. And then you find this. Oh my God, I wasn't raped by the guy because he was racist. And he didn't choose me. He didn't choose me. What sort of level are we in today? I don't know. Am I in hell? Well, I know in literal hell I am, but figuratively, yes, literal hell where I live is a hellish. At least it's slightly colder today, so that's why I'm recording something. But what the fuck? Really? And that's why you get upset, because he didn't touch you, or had sex with you, or whatever. Are you... Rebecca Carroll, are you insane? Are you feeling frustrated Are you frustrated? Are you sexually frustrated? Really? Because that's something I have to ask. Are you insane? I mean, I'm speechless. Why? Why? Why are you... Really? Why? I'm... Okay, moving on. Because that's just too crazy for me. So apparently Marvel canceled a bunch of comics because they didn't sell well. Well, I saw that coming. After all, they decided to pander to social justice warriors, and it triggered because, well, comics it's been sold to a niche. So us, we are part of the niche, and then there's a niche which is a woman reading comics within a niche that it's comic readers. And then there's another niche that's the LGBT or whatever social justice mayhem you have between the woman or male niche that is between the male niche or the comic book niche, the comic book readers niche, that is in them itself an entire niche that likes comics. What do you expect to do? To sell something? You're pandering to people that actually don't even care about comics. And the amount of social justice where that actually read them is just tiny. You can see the number of the amount of comic books sold. I think America, that was only 5,000 comics sold. That number is just tiny. And for a comic, and especially for all the people involved and selling, and those five, it's just too little. And let's put into perspective, those are 5,000 sold to a comic book distributor and comic book stores, because they are not selling individual people buying it. So there may be 12 or 10 copies of America stacked somewhere on some pile or on the dollar bin or something. And that means it's worse than they tell you. For example, Iceman sold 15,743 copies in July, and then it sold 14,056 copies in August, and then 13,267 in September, and you can see that it's not doing well. Then, surprisingly, it had 34,200 in October, but then it dropped to 12,677 in November. Those, with the exception of the Fluke in October, that's just so little. As you can see, for example, as you can see, it's just not even enough to cover much of their costs. The margins of profit is razor thin. So what they do, they have to cancel it. Of course, because no one is buying it. If you're going to pander to a group, don't alienate the comic book readers that it's us. Usually white males or males, if you're going to generalize in that case, males. There are obviously males of other races too reading it, but they are a minority as well. And they probably maybe follows the population percentage. Let's assume that either way, you're pandering to a minority, and so very few people will end up buying it. And this is because some issues did manage to get uh, beyond sex. For example, I think Wenpu here, I don't think it mentions in this article that it sold 25, which is a miracle. 25, I was right. And Heather Antos is actually a diversity hire because on mostly nepotism. So won't go much in detail on that one. Just suffice to say that her boyfriend or husband works at Marvel and she got hired because of him. And she's a total crazy harpy. I don't know what goes in Marvel's head or something. I don't know. Really, what were they thinking? And for example, Iceman became gay, and his entire identity, his entire character of the comic book they designed was because he was gay, coming out as gay. Who wants to read that? Some people liked it. I'm not so sure I would have bothered wasting money on this. Sorry. And then we have Loki, that they went to do the same thing. Check my previous video. What were they thinking? I don't know. It's really something that I can't answer. Well, enough with my ramblings, because Christmas is getting close. I want to play a Homefront Revolution, which is an amazing, good game. There are a few annoying bugs. For example, when you're trying to stab someone and the knife actually floats away from your body, failing to render the arm of the character or a person. You look to 1 second and then you move the camera just a little to the right, enough to not to focus on the model of the character that you just saw, and you move it back to the character, it disappears. Those are the kind of bugs that annoys me, but it's quite detailed. For example, sometimes you see someone painting a graffiti on the wall somewhere around the city. You see the graffiti forming. Those are nice details. For example, the journals they leave around makes you care about the character who wrote it. It's a really nice game. It gives a vibe of Fallout and sometimes of Tom Clancy's The Division. Talking about that, I need to really get back to that. It's a very nice game, and I think you should get it when it's on sale. I hope they're making a new one. I went to check the company, Dambuster Studios, what they were up to, and there's a series of job ads or contracts or whatever you want to call it that are requesting people who knows how to model guns and maps and etc. So at least we know it involves guns in their next game, and that it is on the Unreal Engine 4 instead of CryEngine, which is Homefront. So this is interesting, and I hope we see them and apply their talents on it, because the game is really good. I still haven't finished it yet, so I can't give much more than an opinion that I am giving now. And I hope I can do a proper review in a couple of days when I finish it. Or if I do, I don't get distracted with Steam sales. Anyway, I will probably do it if you're interested. If not, I'll probably still do it. It's a good game, and from what I've played so far, you should give it a go. And it looks amazing. The amount of details, objects scattered around, and etc. It's really, really nice. Anyway, good night, take care, Dr. Jester out.